So Gil, thank you very much for bringing the car up today.
No problem.
Bit of a beast, so let's start with the engine. What everyone wants to know, what is it?
It's a 2JZ GTE VVTi out in Aristo.
It's like, what kind of power are we talking here then?
It's running 520 horsepower just now.
It's into what looks like a stock Volvo then, yeah?
Pretty much, more or less, yeah.
In the shell, also, we were talking just before we started, it was actually like a barn find Volvo?
Yeah, it was sitting in a barn for 3 years before I got it.
In terms of like the condition of it, raw, was there anything to get welded up or fixed?
Yeah,
or?
well, it was a family-owned Volvo, so it's just your everyday Volvo. It's 160,000 miles on it. Had just your usual rust spots under the battery and on the wings where they usually rust.
Yep.
Had to fix all that, new wings, fix the rust in the battery tray, but other than that, it's as you see, it's how I found it.
So we've got the Volvo shell, we've got the engine. How did you make it go together? What were the big challenges there?
Well, surprisingly, there wasn't actually that many challenges because it's a common swap over in Sweden. So it's been done a fair few times. So there's a lot of people to talk to and get advice off of and stuff like that. So the engine mounts was a company in Sweden that made them.
Got you.
There's an adapter kit. I've got a BMW 530D gearbox in it, 6-speed manual. There's an adapter kit that a company make for that, so pretty much everything was just bolt up together.
And you said actually getting the sort of transmission through the tunnel, the gearbox into the tunnel?
Volvo gearbox is really small in these, so I had to space out the tunnel a wee bit just to make the BMW gearbox fit because they're quite big gearboxes.
Right, okay, got you. And internal wise, anything been done to the engine? Or?
No, I haven't even had the valve covers off it since I got it.
Right, so
as you see, it's how I got it.
Entirely stock?
Completely stock.
You said what, 520 brake or so?
520 horsepower, yeah, which is really safe for these.
Yeah. And turbo wise, what we got on there?
It's a Pulsar 3582 turbo.
Right, okay. ECU?
ECU Master standalone.
Right, got you. And was it a local company that done the mapping?
Yes, it was SOS in Falkirk, SOS Motorsports.
You got some big flames put into that map as well?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Suspension wise, what have we done there then?
Fully custom coilovers all round.
Right.
It's got double springs in the back just to keep the back end a bit stiff because the coilovers in these they're really soft in the back.
How do you find the thing handles? If you get this out in the back road and start opening it up?
Horrific.
Horrific, right?
It's a straight line car. It's good at going in straight lines, but as soon as you come to a corner you need to hold on tight.
Oh, jeez. And drivetrain wise, I take it rear wheel drive?
Rear wheel drive, yep. Just the standard Volvo rear end to a diff in it.
Yeah, not too much room left in the bottom there for a front diff or anything?
No, there's not enough room at all.
Yeah. And was this, you were saying this is one of the last ones before they changed over to front
Yeah,
wheel
I
drive?
think there was a V90, it was rear wheel drive, and then after that all the Volvos were pretty much front wheel drive or all wheel drive.
And you said as well, a big thing is you wanted to keep it as practical as possible.
Yeah, I wanted to keep the Volvo aspect of it.
You've turned up today towing a trailer, so,
Yeah.
so I think you've succeeded in that. And I mean, are you using this thing daily or?
No, it's more of a toy. It's a weekend car, but I wanted to keep it capable of doing everything that a Volvo can do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take away any of the Volvo aspect of it.
And I guess we can see that in the sort of height that you've got these coilovers sat
I
at.
didn't want it slammed because then it'll just start rubbing arches and doing all that stuff. I didn't want that.
Yeah, okay. And how do you find it puts the power down? Is it all right, or is
With how slow, with how like easy the boost comes in, it surprisingly puts the power down well.
Right.
So like first and second doesn't really put the power down, but after that it surprisingly holds it.
LSD?
Yeah.
Yep, LSD. Have you had it at Crail or anywhere like that?
Yeah,
Sort
I've
of
had it at
timing
Santa Pod and Crail.
Right.
So I only got one run down at Santa Pod because of how busy it was, and I got a 13.6 and that was going really easy on it.
Right, okay. 13.6, that is, yeah. I know you obviously got the engine mounts, the kit and stuff, but was there any little sort of trinkets, little bits that you had to fabricate?
Yeah, the whole front support for the radiator and the oil cooler and the intercooler and everything, I had to make all that to make it fit because the intercooler actually goes inside the headlights.
Right.
To make, because it's that big an intercooler.
Oh, so it's
you can actually see the intercooler through the headlights. You have to take a notch out of both headlights to make it
get a
fit.
shot of that. I don't think there's much cooling going to those portions of
No,
the intercooler.
no, definitely not.
And you were saying as well there was some little bits that you'd borrowed off of what,
Yeah,
an MX-5?
I've got a turbo MX-5 at home and I've got bits lying everywhere for that. So I needed a wee something rubber to hold the radiator in, so that's bits off a timing belt off an MX-5. And things like the brake booster on the Volvo was too big, so that's a Mark II MX-5 brake booster.
Right, okay.
To allow the downpipe to fit.
Right.
There's little things like that.
Steering wise and stuff, is that standard
All
Volvo?
standard steering Volvo, all standard Volvo for the steering.
That is incredible. Wheel choice then, how did we arrive at these? Well, let's start. What are these?
They're just BBS LM reps.
Right,
Just
okay.
Because them, they're off a BMW, so they're BMW fitting with adapters to let me run BMW wheels.
Got you.
Because Volvo don't really make that wide a wheel for the back.
Yep.
So I tried to fit as wide as I could, and BMW obviously offset front to rear.
Of course, yeah.
I needed the thin wheels at the front and the bigger wheels at the back.
Yep.
And that was 245 tyre was the biggest I could fit at the back without hitting everything.
Brakes.
They're V70R, Volvo V70R Brembos.
So they're okay then. They do the trick for it.
Yeah, they work perfect on it.
May take a wee look inside the interior.
Yeah, not a problem. On you go.
How about in here then? Has much changed or?
Not hugely. It's all pretty standard other than the seats. They're just Escort RS seats. And
Right.
a custom steering wheel, a grandpa cushion because the bottom of the seat fell through.
There
And
really is a grandpa cushion
I haven't
in there.
got round to fixing the seat. But inside's pretty snazzy. Obviously it's the BMW gear stick and things like that.
And have you got boost gauges?
Yeah, I've got-
Yeah, so you've added some boost gauges.
Just
and-
basic water temp, voltage, and then obviously AFR and boost gauge.
Yeah. Okay. And the back isn't stripped or anything, is it?
No,
It's
no,
all
it's full interior. It's still got the 7 seats in it, so it's got 2 seats in the back and the boot as well.
that chink as you close a
Yeah.
Volvo door.
Yeah, and it's got the child seat in the middle and things like that. It's all standard Volvo.
It's just insane.
Yeah,
If you blindfolded someone, put earplugs in, they'd think I'm in my grandpa's Volvo here.
exactly.
Yeah, but I guess that was the goal for you. You
Yeah,
didn't want
exactly.
something really flashy that shouted about the power.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
The power's everything with it. I wasn't too fussed about how it looked, it just happened to be the Volvo I got. It ended up being a really clean Volvo.
Yeah, fair enough. And with it being a Volvo, was that always the plan, or was there other cars on the cards that you were thinking that make a good engine swap?
Well, as I say, I got it as a barn find. It was that cheap. My initial plans were to buy it and just resell it because it would have been an easy profit with how cheap it was for sale.
So no project, just
At
buy
the time of buying it, there was no plans for it.
Right,
It was
got
purely
you.
just buy and sell it. But then obviously I got it and realised how clean it actually was. And once I fixed everything that was wrong with it, I was like, I actually kind of want to keep this thing and have a bit of fun with it. And I've always wanted a stupid fast Volvo, basically, a silly Volvo. Because I've always loved Volvo. I grew up with them. My grandpa's had them. My mum's had them.
Yeah, okay,
So
fair enough.
I've always wanted a Volvo that's a bit silly.
Yeah. Well, you've certainly achieved it.
Yeah. It's got the 7 seats underneath the back panels. Got the 2 more seats.
Are they still in there as
They're
well?
still in there, yeah.
So you could go drag racing with 7 in the
I
car?
could, but they're weight restricted.
Oh,
So
right, okay.
They're,
It's
they're
like
for kids.
kids' seats, yeah,
kids
got
seats,
you.
and an adult doesn't fit in there.
Yeah, right.
Your head's off the roof and your knees are in your face.
Well, I think we might unhitch the trailer now and go for a bit of a rip.
Yeah, no problem.
Take it, Rod.
Absolute beauty.
Is that the same engine yours had, Rod?
No. That's right.
In the motorway, it's hardly much road.
Totally love it.
Yeah, it comes on and off. It has its mind of its own because that's the GPS sensor up there.
Right.
So it just comes in and out sometimes.
What with the rev counter working?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
ran off the standalone ECU.
Ah, right, okay. Did the gearbox quite noisy?
Yeah,
Is it okay or is it dying?
No, it's supposedly it's fine because I've heard other people's with similar gearboxes do the same noise. It's when you take the dual mass flywheel off them, they become there's nothing there to keep it all balanced.
Got you.
So the gears chatter against each other.
You can imagine in a 5 Series Beamer you're going to have a lot more sound deadening.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I expected it to be a lot more race car.
Harsh. Yeah.
Pretty harsh to travel in, but
No, it's fine.
you have retained the old Volvo feel of it.
If I still had the stock suspension, it'd be a comfy ride as well.
Yeah.
Even then, it's not that bad the way it is.
It's not super stiff though,
No.
it's alright. So have you given anyone a proper shock in this? Like anyone tried to have a play with you on the road?
Not really,
No.
very rarely, but it's a Volvo, so nobody really wants to play with it.
That's true, yeah.
They just think it's an old Volvo, nothing special, or they know that it's probably hiding something.
We just passed a Corvette there, it made me think I'd be making a point of like trying to egg them on, like let's go.
I do try and egg people on, but they just laugh or
Yeah.
shrug it off.
Who's this? Grandpa?
Exactly.
How's that cushion doing you in that seat?
Perfect. And I didn't have the cushion, my back started getting really sore.
Oh really?
Yeah, so I had to put the cushion in.
Mum's cushion to the rescue.
Exactly, yeah. I need to get the seats taken out and reupholstered because all the bolstering and everything fell out of them. And
Yeah.
I got them for stupid cheap for what they are.
Yeah.
So I've just made them work.
They look the part though. You've
Yeah,
put,
they suit the interior.
was
Like,
gonna
there's
say,
standard seats in the back.
it's like
Standard are fine.
Yeah.
Standard's really good.
The way I had the standard seats in the front and they made you sit really high,
they're kind of
which I
period
didn't like.
correct, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I was going for as well. Yeah. I could have went bucket seats and things like that, but it would took away from the interior.
Yeah, totally agree. No, I love what you've done. You've kept that theme running.
Yeah.
Can't remember if you already said, but have you got an idea of weight?
They're 1.4, just under 1.5 ton standard.
Really?
So I'd guess that, I'm assuming the 2J, it's an iron block, so it weighs a wee bit more than the 4-cylinder that was in it.
It's maybe what?
So it's maybe 1.5, 1.6 tons.
1.6 or something.
Yeah, probably around
I
about
can't
there.
believe these were under 1.5 ton
Yeah,
stock.
yeah,
So if
standard.
you take like your equivalent new Volvo, it's probably 2 ton.
Yeah, close to 2 ton, yeah. I've got a XC70 that I use as a daily and that's 2 ton.
Yeah, I believe it. Do you find it's a car that kind of eggs you on, or can you behave yourself?
I can behave myself in it. With the diff that's in it, obviously, it doesn't like to lock up when you kick the back end out.
Yeah, so you were explaining you end up with one wheel spinning.
Yeah, if I
basically.
try and drift it or kick the back end out, it ends up opening the diff up and I've got one wheel spinning and it's horrible to try and play about with.
Is that something
But
you can maybe change in future? Get a
I want to, I'm contemplating whether I should just put a welded diff in it,
oh.
but then that'll take away from the drivability of
Yeah.
it.
See, I really like the drivability
Yeah.
of it. That's the
That's-
big shock for me.
But because it's obviously, it's a Volvo, there isn't really much support for stuff like that out there.
Okay.
But I'm sure I'll probably find a better diff that locks up better.
So is that the stock Volvo diff? That's not from...
No,
your-
it's a black line LSD that's in it.
Right, okay.
But the axles and everything else is standard.
Right, see, I was thinking it was sort of BMW from the gearbox back, but that's not the case.
No, just
right,
it's
okay.
Toyota engine, BMW gearbox, Volvo back
So
end.
yeah, it's Volvo at the back,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Still the standard Volvo axle.
It's a proper Frankenstein. It's
Yeah.
amazing how you've been able
Yeah,
to
literally.
piece it all together and get it all working.
The only parts in the full car that I didn't do myself were the custom prop shaft and then obviously fitting the diff in the back axle.
Right.
Those are the only two parts I didn't do.
Everything else you've handled.
Everything else I've done myself,
That's
yeah.
insane. You could make these things and sell them. 80 grand.
Not a problem, I'll make it for you. I don't know if it's a bit wet.
Holy shit. God, it gets going.
Fourth and fifth feel a lot harder.
Yeah, that hooked up good there, though.
Yeah,
It was damn.
I was really easy in the throttle, I didn't floor it.
Yeah.
I wasn't right to the floor with it, just in case.
What a monster. We're still doing 0 miles per hour.
Yeah, still not going anywhere.
Oh, that's insane. I wish we could see Frazik's face. Right, I want one. I want one.
Jesus Christ.
Commission this man to build one. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's different, man.
No, I know.
Jesus Christ.
That's where the box gets really noisy.
Is that the box?
Yeah.
I thought we had like feds behind us.
No,
there.
no, that's the box. Gets really noisy, fifth and sixth.
So you've been out in fast McLarens and stuff, but the difference with them is
This is more raw.
this is
100%.
much more raw.
Yeah, there's no computers in this whatsoever.
they retain a lot of, not that this doesn't, but they're very, very composed about the way they go about the
Yeah,
speed.
they bring the power in really smooth,
Yes,
and it just
but
doesn't feel the same as
This
that.
is a kick in the head.
Yeah.
It's, I want it to look really well.
Yeah.
You need to boost it.
Just
Classic, like.
straight.
To be fair, I think a lot of that's probably down to Gil's driving as well. Like, if you let someone loose in this, it
Yeah.
would just all
It
in.
catches me off guard sometimes,
I bet. Just a little bit of lock
Yeah.
on there and it'll...
and I'll just want to.
Thanks so much, man. That was
Not a problem. That was eye-opening.